Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. The discussions with Tantric is going on. Master is telling, but I can't touch wine at all. Tantric, you have spontaneous divine bliss. One who enjoys that bliss wants nothing else. Master, I don't care for japa and austerity, but I have constant remembrance and consciousness of God. Remembrance is a part of mind. Awareness is a part of prajna. Prajna is beyond the nature. The first layer while we are entering into the spiritual world. When we turn inward and take inward journey, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, from there we enter into the self, which is eternal, unchanging reality of an ocean of bliss. We enter there. So, when we go consciousness beyond the mind, entering into Vijnanamaya kosha, it's beyond mind, and intellect, external intellect ends. The deep portion of the awakened intellect, it is not there, it is within. Now, this intellect which we are using in the world, it is the last layer of Prakriti, starting from body, the energies, then the senses, then the mind. Behind the mind stands intellect. Behind the intellect, between the spiritual existence and bodily existence, the region is called prajna. Prajna, awareness, pure awareness, independent of body, mind, everything, and independent of nature also. It belongs to both nature and Chaitanya, or it doesn't belong to the... It is no man's land between Chaitanya and Prakriti. Both can occupy. So there is the constant awareness comes there. Constant memory comes in the mind. Mind and intellect are external first covers. Then comes the senses, energies, and physical body. If we go from body to inward, then it's beyond mind. Body, mind, everything, body-mind complex, beyond that is this awareness which is independent of mind. In awareness, God is there. Constant remembrance is going on. With that, he is talking to devotees and all. Now, what he has got to do with the tapasya, austerities, giving up something or holding on to something, or holding on. Both holding on and living is not there when constant remembrance and constant awareness of God are there. Tell me, when they speak of the 6 centers, what do they mean? 6 centers of consciousness. This is most commonly people speak about, and nobody knows what it is. It is like psychiatrists and psychologists studying psychology. Through mind, they are trying to understand another mind. Mind is trying to understand mind. It cannot. Mind can love mind. Mind cannot understand. When you transcend the mind and go beyond, when you penetrate to the mind and go beyond, you cannot enter the other's mind. because other's mind cannot be seen. We infer from his behavior and all, mind is there, this is this and that, but it's all speculations. Only mind which is accessible to you, to know, to transcend, to pass through and analyze everything is your own mind. There is no proof of mind, existence of mind, except I have one. The psychology begins with this statement that there is no proof of existence of mind except I have a mind. So that I have a mind is others' mind cannot be seen. There is no proof. You can see the body, you can see the behavior, you can see him talking, moving about everything, but you cannot see mind. Whatever the psychologists, psychiatrists or doctors speak of, mind is a speculation only. They cannot see. They infer. It must be behaving like this. It must be behaving like this. They have standardized certain things and they try to see that. Now, what is the mind? Only your mind is there, which is accessible to you. And it comes after you transcend the body. Annamaya after crossing, then the Manomaya comes into picture. When you enter the mind and pass through it, how difficult it is to turn inward, because my mind is uncontrollable. It is driven by some vasanas. To turn it inward calmly and enter within, how difficult it is. And this mind, when it passes through the mind and enters the Vijnanamaya Kosha and gets a first spiritual entry, then he will know what is mind. Till then, no one can know what is mind. When you are transcending, passing through the mind to the other side of the mind, then you know the mind. Till then, whether it is psychiatrist or psychologist, all these are just speculation, which doesn't affect anybody except the one who studies it. So is this 6 centers. When they speak of 6 centers, what do they mean? Because all are speaking about the chakras. Nobody knows what is chakra. It is consciousness. It is consciousness. It is in the man can feel, understand. It is knowledgeable. It is cognition, but it is consciousness. We can cognize it, but we can't. Senses cannot perceive. Whether it is color, they give colors to the chakras. They are not at all colors. They are different self-luminous hues of the consciousness. Very difficult to conceive. It is consciousness. Now, mental pictures. I can create any mental pictures. Consciousness when it manifests, or consciousness when it reveals itself, is different. It is from within, it is coming out. Mental picture is mind is taking the form of a picture. It is existential aspect. Mind is like a TV screen. It can project anything. It can be past memories, it can be analytical, it can be created mentally, anything. These are the pictures of mind. When with chakras, they are existential, they exist. And they exist as what? As matter? No. not this matter. We feel they are within me like Mary biscuits hanging one over the other. No, it is not that. So it is made up of consciousness. Mental picture itself you cannot project or show anybody. It is on your mental screen, and that screen cannot be shared with anybody. So here you see it is made up of consciousness which is beyond mind, beyond your earthly existence. It is in the spiritual existence where nobody else can go. And in spiritual existence, it is there as spirit, as Chaitanya. It is not matter at all. So whether matter exists or not, it doesn't matter. Because it is the only reality. The reality, the absolute reality, has projected and presented itself in this form. So Chaitanya is what cognizes, what sees, what observes, what understands. That itself has taken its own projection form. So the colors we give is a self-created and independent of all existence, but it exists. Now, my vision of this world exists as long as I exist. My vision is dependent on my existence. My bodily existence goes away. I can no more have the picture and understanding at all. But here it is not like whole universe goes. The chakras will remain as they are. So chakras don't get out. They are the layers of consciousness in the universe. They are layers of consciousness. Higher layers, lower layers. So as we go higher and higher, we move towards the one existence. As we come down and down, we come to the multifarious universe. In between, almost at zero, we find this chakras we can hold on to. So when we speak of chakras, they cannot be seen, they cannot be perceived. They are beyond the physical body, beyond the mental body, sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, which is the manomaya, that one by one layer. Sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira, beyond waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep. In deep sleep, what you are, at that level can you enter, crossing all the layers? The sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira. I have to cross my body and mind. Then I enter into sleep. I have to consciously cross over the sleep layer also. I enter into deep sleep where my all memories and everything is kept there in a safe way. That also I have to pass. Karana sharira also. And there I find the chakras along the axis of my existence, independent of body. There, the Chaitanya itself is standing there. The cause of the universe, the cause of all jivas, the source of jiva's existence. There, I see, that is there the chakras are found. Means how deep it is in a samadhi sthiti. A step before is your jivatman, a step behind is your paramatman. The threshold on which this world and the spirit are meeting. There the chakras are there. So, Tantric, these are different holy places. To speak to a person, you have to speak in their own language. When you are telling child about God, God is God uncle, He will give whatever you want, you can ask Him. He has all things, all access. You want intelligence, He will give you. He is like a huge shop owner who gives the things free of cost. Something like that, while telling to child. Last, as we grow, the understanding of God goes on changing. Then finally it ends one existence, which appears as Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, as the individual souls, the cosmic existence and the beyond. So, just like that God concept changes, here this also, understanding of chakra and all this change. Tantric. These are like different holy places. In each of the centers dwell Shiva and Shakti. Shiva and Shakti is the term used in the Puranas. In Vedic scriptures and in Vedic times, the understanding was Chaitanya and Chit Shakti. Chaitanya and Chit Shakti. And when we come down to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra and Sankhya and all that, Purusha and Prakriti. Shiva and Shakti, Purusha. In Vedanta, it is Chaitanya, Chit Shakti. And here when we come to the Purana, Shiva Shakti. When we enter into the Sankhya and Yoga, it is Purusha Prakriti. In various ways, the same thing is expressed. According to their philosophy, their looking angle is little different, but it amounts to the same identity. The two absolute ultimate existences. The whole universe, whole relative existence can be reduced to Shakti, power. And the consciousness which pervades it and gives existence to all that exists can be separate entity, Purusha and Prakriti. When the universe dissolves, when I am also not there, you are also not there, and nothing duality remains, the Purusha, Prakriti merges in the Purusha. Purusha is special reference to Pura. The creation is called Pura. The Jiva is called Pura. The whole creation, Purusha, he pervades it, Shiyate. He pervades the whole creation and stays unaffected and not instigating or doing anything. It is just existence is being expressed. So it's called Purusha. Individual level, cosmic level, individual. Macrophone, microphone. Macrocosm, microcosm. In microcosm, when we come, same concept comes into. There is Chaitanya, Atman and Sharira. Bodily existence and spiritual existence. Purusha and Prakriti is there in me also. Prakriti is there in nature also and beyond also. So, at each center dwell Shiva and Shakti. One cannot see them with physical eyes. It is like software. You cannot see with the physical eyes or physical any of the instruments. Hardware can be seen. Software cannot be seen of the computer. One cannot take them out by cutting open the body. If chakras are there in those places, I will cut and see whether it is true or not. No, you cannot see. You can open the whole of the computer. You can't see the software. But you can use it, you can download it, you can upload it, you can play with it, but you cannot see it. By any of the senses, 5 senses we have, it's beyond Indriya, Indriyatita vastu. Yam listened silently to the conversation. Looking at him, the master added, the tantric devotee, can a man attain perfection without the help of bija mantra? Sri Ramakrishna is telling this. Can a man attain perfection without the help of Bija Mantra, the sacred word from Guru? Tantric, yes. He can, if he has faith. Faith is faith in the words of Guru. Faith in the words of Guru. Suppose Guru says it is not necessary for you to repeat or whatever Guru says, if he has faith, it is. Suppose he gives Om alone, he may give only God's name, Ram, 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 Ram. Anything he may give, their Bija Mantra doesn't come into picture. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishna, Pranava is there, Bija Mantra is not there. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bija Mantra is not there. Stream, if it becomes, there is Bija Mantra. Yeah. This can make him, he must have the faith. Guru gives the mantra, repeat Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. He goes on repeating, there is no Bija Mantra. Without Bija Mantra, it is working. The master turned to him and said, drawing his attention, faith. After the tantric devotee had taken his leave, Jayagopal Sen, a member of Brahma Samaj, arrived. Master talked with him. Master to Jayagopal, one should not harbor malice towards any person or any opinion. The believers in the form of God, in the formless God, the believers in the formless God, and the worshippers of God with form are all, without exception, going towards God alone. One has taken form, with form is worshipping God, another is worshipping without form, Nirguna Nirakara, Saguna Sakara. The follower of path, the Jnani, Yogi, Bhakta, all without exception are seeking Him alone. The followers of path of bhakti, the followers of the path of knowledge calls Him Brahman. The yogi calls Him Atman or Paramatman. The bhakta calls Him Bhagavan. Further, it is said that there is the eternal Lord and His eternal servant. The concept of eternity. If you bring any kind of duality within oneness of the divine, both becomes, the multiplicity becomes always eternity. Duality. Now, if you take Nirguna Nirakara, Saguna Sakara, duality has already appeared. There is dual. Nirguna Nirakara, Saguna Sakara. Guna is not there. This Nirguna, one existence. When it becomes multiplied, Saguna Sakara, Guna has come into the picture. Saguna Sakara, Akara has come into picture. When duality has come into picture, the concept completely, both are paths to the same end. Saguna Sakara is also taking to the same end. Nirguna, eventually this person also reaches Saguna Sakara. Nirguna Nirakara also is going there itself, as if they are calling the same reality with different names, as if the understanding is different. There is no form of God at all. It is formless aspect. then how will you transact with him? If transaction is there, there must be duality. To transact with him, I take up the duality. Saguna Sakara comes means immediately so many things come into picture, because two alone cannot exist. Two alone is there is some material or something which is separating them. Two, if there is no separating identity in between, it is one. When it becomes two, what is making it two is their third one. The third one cannot be there without another which is distinct from the two objects. It becomes multiplicity. There is one or multiple. So, duality with respect to the consciousness that is pervading the two. What is pervading the split is there. What is pervading the matter is there. God and devotee. God is separate, devotee it is separated into two, God and devotee. Now God and devotee, when it is split, what is splitting is ignorance. Ignorance divides one into two. Ignorance has no existence of its own. How beautiful you see the concept of Maya. One being appearing as many. It is ignorance. Does ignorance exist? In Advaita, ignorance, you cannot say whether it exists or not, because we are seeing the difference. So, Sadasadbhyam Anirvachaniyam. Between Sat and Asat, existence and non-existence, it cannot be distinguished that way. Anirvachaniyam, you cannot tell. There is no decision over it. And because I am seeing duality, ignorance is there. If ignorance is not there, I am seeing a dream. Ignorance must be there. But ignorance, dream world, if it is true, real, it should not disappear. It disappears. With jnana, the difference dissolves. The Maya disappears. So when it disappears, it is not there. But we are seeing the difference. As long as you see the difference, ignorance has a place. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.